G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is Queen Tested, a video series in Fallout 76 that I use as a vehicle to complain about enemies having damage over time attacks, and also attempt to kill a Scorched Beast Queen and all of her mates during Scorched Earth, using a specific legendary weapon. Today's weapon is going to be a bloodied minigun with 25% faster fire rate and +1 perception. This thing probably doesn't need an intro. It's obviously got an incredibly high DPS potential, not as high as this, but I really don't want anyone to be comparing this one to this because the limb damage has an exceedingly weird bug that increases your damage to where it really shouldn't be. So instead of directly comparing these two weapons, in fact, I want this to be more compared to the bloodied fire rate LMG that I did a while back. The kill might be a little bit different, might take a little bit longer with this one. I did die at some point, and also I got the Queen trapped inside the outpost, but I think the damage numbers are comparable, and in retrospect, looking back on it, I feel like this thing was doing a little bit more damage than the numbers were letting on, so keep that in mind. But do let me know what you think if you're in the mind of actually comparing these things. But yeah, this thing is not a terrible approach. I had a decent time with it. The ads were easy to clear out because this thing's got the huge mag capacity, and honestly, that's your biggest advantage with this thing. It's why I used it as a non-legendary approach to kill a Scorched Beast, because although it might not have as high damage per shot as something like an LMG, the bullets kind of make up for it because you'll have to be reloading this less, so less pauses between actual killing. Anyways, quickly going over the build, obviously I've got all the heavy gunner perks, the bullet shield for a little bit more resistance while shooting, but the rest are going into blocker there because, well, when the Queen punches me, it does a lot of damage, but now it does less with blocker. I've got fireproof as well. That helps me resist the Scorched Beast explosive sonic doom breath, and got stabilize. I've got tenderizer. Stabilize increases accuracy and armor penetration. Tenderizer giving me extra bit of damage. Obviously, Nerd Rage is going to be active because that synergizes well with my mutations and their legendary effect on the weapon. Of course, we're using Dodgy and Action Girl for excellent tanking ability because we've got the emergency protocols in my power armor already, so I can avoid quite a lot of damage with this and out-tank most things, except for damage over time. It's always damage over time, but also got Bloody Mess 1 gun army for crippling the thing. If I break the wing, it'll come down to earth, and then I can shoot it a lot easier. Let's get started. Alrighty, Queen fight's about to begin. There's a little baby one. If he comes across our path, I might just shoot him, just to get a little bit of an idea of what this thing can do. Gonna check my build before I go along. Yeah, I could probably change that out, couldn't I? There we go, make the minigun last a little bit longer. Yep. Yeah, it's alright. Not bad for damage when they're that far back. And all of the turds are now swarming in. Bit of moonwalking there, not too impressive. Actually very impressive. I like it when enemies do that. Anyways, if we can get her to land right off the bat, which is what happened, we're in good shape. Let's just cripple her wing. There we go. Seems to be doing pretty good so far. Really good. And she's up again. She didn't like that very much, and I wouldn't blame her. And now I'm knee deep in ads too. Perfect. Now let's not use all of my ammo shooting at ads, but having that 60% adrenaline bonus is pretty good. Land. Oh, bugger it. Just doing that again. Worst phase. Please take that out. Well, I suppose I could try to manipulate her behavior by vatsing her wing. I mean, I need to lock onto it first. Fine, I'll kill your babies instead. How's that make you feel? Does that make you feel rife with vengeance? Vicious vengeance? Anger? Something like that? Do you seek retribution for your child I just murdered? Well, the only way you can get that is if you land. That's how you get it. So if you're to kindly plant your ass on the ground, we can get this fight actually going. She's still shooting at me, but she wants no bloody part of this. And you know what? They've got shotguns. If I step like 2 feet away from them, and I'm using imperial measurements so Americans understand, I'll be okay. And there's this little... Get out of here. There we go. Yeah, shotgun's not too much of a worry. There we go, finally. And just go for the noggin. 63 damage. Yep. Seems to be doing alright. Really good. Almost better than alright. We've successfully managed to kill everything that might stagger us, so that's good. I see a Deathclaw though, that needs to go. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. She'll be up and about pretty soon, and then we'll be ready for the next phase. Hopefully she doesn't go straight to taking a piss. Look at all these scorched idiots around me. Okay, I need to thin out the numbers here, I think. There we go. There was a mole miner in amongst that too. Did you see that? Because I certainly didn't. So just get the barrel up and ready for when she lands on the ground. Luckily I didn't get staggered there. Maybe in power armor that attack doesn't stagger you. You know, it'd make a little bit of sense if there was some stagger resistance in power armor. Like having random dogs bite you. You know, what was that noise? Oh, Wendigo. That's alright. They don't carry poison, so they're okay with me. Just gotta take out some more trash. Speaking of poison, there are some stingwings there. Luckily, I was reloading, otherwise I would have died to poison. And again. Oh, I love the delay. You have to wait till the barrel is completely motionless until you stim pack. Oh, and there's also a crab here. That might have killed me last time as well. Yeah, you try and spit at me whilst I'm focused on you, mate. Anyways, we've had a reset from the Queen because of just AI. There's a lot of things I don't enjoy about the fight, and you know, being swarmed with a bunch of idiots is one of them, especially damage over time. That's just very annoying. It's not the most fun fight in the game, that's for sure. Alright, let's knock this under Nerd Rage. There's just things attacking me. That's a Radroach or a little baby Mirelurk, so probably don't have to worry about that too much. Just gonna keep an ear out for what else could be around. Like, literally nothing, apparently. That's fine. It's gonna make this fight very, very easy indeed. So, in terms of this compared to the Bloodied Fire Rate, Bloodied Limb Damage minigun, it's inferior in terms of damage output, but as you can tell, it's still cutting through it pretty well. Comparing this to a more balanced version, let's say the, is that a Cricket? I don't think they carry damage over time, so... You will carry Adrenaline if I kill ya, or you'll carry it and give it to me, so that's pretty good. But if I compare this to something like the Bloodied Fire Rate LMG that I did, since I'm not having to reload every 2 seconds, this thing is going to edge out the time slightly, and despite me dying like an idiot, I mean, I had a really good run on the Fire Rate LMG, so I probably would have done this a bit slower because I died, but that being said, you know, there was a lot less ads I had to deal with. I got her to land in the center of that little structure over there, and she didn't move, which was, you know, easy because I just kept chaining headshots on her. But the damage on this is certainly good. It's nothing to be ashamed of, and it's an unyielding bit. That's okay. Inferior to me, but you know, it could be nice. So I'll just dump this in here, and I think you get the idea of this weapon. It is a solid approach, and you know, if they ever figure out how to fix that limb damage nonsense, this thing will be a really good contender for one of the best Queen killers out there. I do rather enjoy using a minigun. Not a non-legendary minigun, that's just a good way of wasting all your prime bullets, but I started off this with about 9,000, and I'm down to like just over 6,000, so you know, about 3,000 bullets to kill a Queen with this. That's pretty solid. That's some good stuff. I like it. Alright. That was a limb damage minigun. I've got both of them on me because my stash is full. But yeah, I think you get the point. Thank you for watching, guys.